Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So today we would be studying about correction tools for thesis, right? We would be discussing at large what is the significance of proofreading, editing, and software tools for enhanced writing. Now, when we talk about enhanced writing, we need to understand what is enhanced writing. Enhanced writing means writing which is full of clarity, which has the required content, and which is foolproof in terms of formatting, in terms of like there should not be any errors, right? All the prerequisite of a good thesis include a thesis which has justified content as per the topic, the title, the subject area. It's properly formatted and edited in terms of sentence structure, grammar, and spell check too, right? So we would be studying at large about this. Coming to the need for precision. What is the meaning of the need for precision? What is precision? Precision means accuracy. Accuracy in terms of content, accuracy in terms of using the right vocabulary, proper sentence structure, etc., etc. It would be repetition, what I've already spoken. So the purpose of correction tools is because, they make the thesis very professional with academic tone. And it also highlights the critical role of precision in academic writing. When we talk about in general, I'm discussing with you, when we talk about effective communication, now that communication can be scholarly communication, written communication, or spoken, right? So there are 7 C's of communication. In those 7 C's, which is of prime importance, is concise, being brief. So precision also means using the correct word, the correct expression, and the correct content. But at the same time, we have to express that in all brevity, briefness. Because when the content is terse, when the content is concise, our audience in terms of our readers, our academic fraternity, supervisor, examiner will understand it better. So why do we do proofreading? We do proofreading to enhance clarity and credibility in writing. What is credibility? Credibility means when our work is of a certain stature, of a certain level, then our readers are going to believe in the worth of our work, right? We can also use, at last, we can also use software tools, digital tools, and we can run through our content through these digital tools like Grammarly, like Ginger, QuillBot, etc., to paraphrase as well as to check the grammar and the spellings. But again, we cannot totally depend on them. They are just an additional aid which will come to our help. But our manual editing, there is no substitute for that. Now, when you write answers, when you attend to question based on proofreading, first of all, you should understand what is proofreading. It is the final stage in the editing process focused on surface errors. Like we are not talking about content. We are only talking about the errors which are very superficial and clearly visible. There are stages in editing. First of all, we make sure that the document is polished before final submission, enhancing its quality. Now, surface errors. What are the surface errors? Spellings, punctuation, grammar, vocabulary. These are the surface errors. What are the deep errors? May I ask you? There is something like superficial, and the opposite of that is deep rooted, deep. What can be the deep errors? Guess the class. We are talking about superficial errors. जो हमारा कोई गलत स्पेलिंग है, सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर गलत है, ग्रामर गलत है, वो सारे सुपरफिशियल एरर्स हैं. डीप रूटेड हमारा लैक क्या हो सकता है थीसिस में, वो है हमारा कंटेंट, rearrangement of the content. So content is the king. Content make any research paper, scholarly document, academic piece of writing click. Because whatever topic we have chosen, we have to be very, we have to set it in our mind that my reader is going to learn the A to Z of this topic in a presentable manner. It should not look like a speech. It should not look like, merely going through. So your thesis or your research document or your academic piece of writing or your book, it should state the content in an organized manner, laying down the topical statement, explaining the title of your work, then the definition, adding to, how you authenticate your content by adding additional information. Are we clear about this? Are we clear so far? So
yes,
surface,
yes, ma'am.
Surface errors you have understood. What are surface errors? They can be punctuation, grammar, vocabulary. That is the surface error. The deep-rooted lack would be lack in your content. Now, when we are talking about common spelling errors, like, there are group of words called homophones. Homo means same and phone comes for sound. They are also known as homonyms. There are words which are spelled same, but which are, we pronounce them in the same manner, but they might have different spellings and their usage is entirely different. Like THEIR there is, somebody's, and THERE there, we are talking about the location, the direction, that place there. So there are many such homonyms. So we have to be very careful. Sometimes what happens, autocorrect, we want to write there, but the autocorrect will offer us the wrong substitute for that by the spelling THEIR, because AI can never defy the human judgment, the human understanding. So that also, कई बार हम किसी को कुछ मैसेज लिखना चाहते, लिखना कुछ और चाहते, ऑटो करेक्ट उसको कुछ और बना देता है. So that way, digital tools have become a disaster. So software assistance, when we talk about that, detection of spelling errors to enhance the accuracy, the typing errors. For example, there are words like receive. Many of the people, they write it wrong. They spell it wrong. So when you make errors like such, the credibility of your academic writing, it becomes very poor. The scholarly fraternity, they do not believe in the worth of your work. The scholarly fraternity, they do not give that much of value and importance to your academic piece of writing as much you are supposed to get. So what you are supposed to do? Proofread. Proofreading techniques. As I might have told you, when you take a reading of your content, you have to do multiple reading, multiple proofreading, multiple editing, multiple formats in the first place, right? Drafts in the first place. And one go, this reading, I will merely focus on the spelling. Second reading, I would focus on the punctuation. So, and the very first reading has to be the content and the rearrangement of the content. And for example, there are certain foreign language words which are accepted in English, like rendezvous. Rendezvous is a sort of meeting. Rendezvous is a sort of communication. It is a sort of interaction. So when we incorporate such foreign terms in English language, their spellings are really dicey. So we have to be careful that we spell them properly. I do remember the words of my guide, this receive and receive. She always told us, you are not a dictionary. You are not a encyclopedia. Don't hesitate. There is no insult in checking and rechecking. So we should always be open to checking and rechecking. And these days it is available at the click of a button, right? Coming to your grammar essentials. The grammar, what we can say, parameters which we are supposed to keep in our mind. Sentence structure. First of all, the content. We should try to present the content in a very simple manner. Should avoid using complex sentences. But at the same time, we cannot use 4-word, 5-word sentence. Somewhere we have to raise the bar, right? So we should, in the terms of sentence structure, we should use simple sentences, and the sentence structure should enhance the clarity of our work. The second is subject-verb agreement. In subject-verb agreement, what are we supposed to do? That our subject and verb should be in agreement with each other. Supposedly, our subject is singular, she, and the verb would always carry that S, she dances. Third parameter is we should maintain the tense consistency. Maintaining the same tense throughout helps to avoid confusion. So these are the common errors which, when worked upon, will enhance the overall writing quality of your academic writing. Misplaced modifiers. Sometimes, when the modifiers, they are not placed at the right place. So comprehension, that is understanding of your content, goes back. Passive voice usage. We always are supposed to use passive voice so that, when we use the passive voice, our argument becomes weak. So we are supposed to maintain active voice so that our argument is strong. Importance of proper punctuation. We already have discussed this topic, right? How the sense, the meaning, and understanding, it changes when the punctuation is proper or improper, right? So when we use proper punctuation, we ensure the readability of our content. And supposedly the apostrophe is missing. Like, there is, in every application we write yours truly. So sometimes what do the students do? After your, they put apostrophe and write S, which is wrong, right? It is yours is a word in its own right, right? Run-on sentences. So what are run-on sentences? Sometimes it becomes complicated. We need to take a break. When one idea is conveyed, we need to switch on to a fresh sentence. So we should avoid run-on sentences for the clarity of your content to be maintained. Coming to the role of standard proofreading software, right? So manual proofreading, there is no substitute for that. Critical evaluation of suggestions, right? The nuances, जो बारीकियां होती है academic language की, proper academic vocabulary का usage करना. So that is also of significance. Coming to appropriate vocabulary. Our very first unit talks about appropriate vocabulary. Here we are using this very slide or this very theme of appropriate vocabulary in terms of editing and proofreading. When we are editing, when we are proofreading, we have to make sure that we have used the right words at the right places. And if they are not so, we are supposed to replace them with proper words. Understanding the distinction helps in maintaining an academic tone and, flavor of professionalism to your entire academic document or your thesis. The clarity and the impact of your arguments, they become strong. So cliches and jargon we are supposed to avoid. What are cliches? They were actually expressions of great importance, but because of their overusage, now these expressions have become very, very, what we can say, rampant. कि कई ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं, जैसे हम बोलते हैं कोई भी ऐसे मुहावरे का इस्तेमाल करते, ओल्ड इज गोल्ड. तो किसी जमाने में उसकी बहुत अहमियत थी कि हाँ बहुत बड़ी बात कही आपने, ओल्ड इज गोल्ड, बट वो इतना उसको ओवर यूजेज हो गया कि जब हम उसका इस्तेमाल किसी जगह पे करते तो वो इम्पैक्ट, वो नॉवेल्टी, वो क्रिएटिविटी नहीं आ पाती. तो ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स जो वंस अपॉन अ टाइम दे वर वेरी suitable, appropriate, but now they have become mere cliches because of their overuse. So we should avoid cliches, avoid jargon. Jargon means non-formal, non-academic, everyday usage or slang words usage, which is a strict no-no in terms of usage of these jargons in your academic writing, right? Utilizing dictionaries and thesauruses. Like I gave you the example of my guide, and I'm very truthful about it. This is one thing I think I would carry to my tomb. She told us to check and recheck. Don't be overconfident. तो हमें जो है डिक्शनरीज और थिसॉरस का बहुत ही खुला इस्तेमाल करना है. थिसॉरस होता है बुक ऑफ सिनोनिम्स, जहां पे एक वर्ड से मिलते जुलते वर्ड्स की एक लिस्ट होती है. सो यू कैन सिलेक्ट व्हाट इज द अप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड एज पर योर कंटेंट, राइट? Should we keep on proceeding further? I hope you are understanding what am I discussing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll
Yes,
proceed further. And now coming to QuillBot. After discussing what is proofreading, what is editing, what is its significance, we are coming to a digital tool, paraphrasing and grammar tool called QuillBot. So what are its features and what are its limitations? One thing is very clear. You need to keep in your mind that it is a paraphrasing tool, right? It is used to summarize and paraphrase the content. Means when you want to the same content, the meaning, the theme, the understanding of it, when you want to put it in different words or different sentences, so that is called paraphrasing. It is often done to avoid, plagiarism, right? What are the strengths of QuillBot? It is used for rephrasing sentences and enhancing vocabulary. Limitations kya hai? When we over rely on something, somebody, some great critic has spoken of something in his own words. When we keep on paraphrasing it, so paraphrasing will not give the same impact, will not give the same understanding. तो ओवर रिलायंस जब हम ये टूल पे करते हैं कि किसी का कंटेंट उठा के उसको पैराफ्रेज कर दिया, उसको नए शब्द दे दिए, तो उससे क्या हो जाता है, जो ओरिजिनल मीनिंग होता है वो डिस्टॉर्ट हो जाता है, वो लॉस्ट हो जाता है, वो कन्वे नहीं हो पाता. सो अननेसेसरी, वी शुड नॉट यूज दिस very software at each and every place. Coming to our next digital tool, Grammarly. ग्रामर चेक के लिए यूज होता है, ठीक And for these also you are supposed to use the advanced or the paid versions. Tone evaluation, writing tone, ठीक है, academic tone follow होनी चाहिए, spell check, punctuation. So this tool also, the advanced version also gives you feedback, right? Limitations kya hai? It is merely designed for general English. This very digital tool might not understand the intricacies of your topic. Now, this is merely grammar check, basic grammar check. They will not understand what topic you are discussing of nursing, medical science, management, humanities. They will never, the tool will never have that much of understanding and acquisition of knowledge as any expert in that study area might have. Right? So those are the limitations. Coming to Ginger software, it is an alternative tool. It is also a proofreading tool for writers or academicians. And always the free versions, they lack the advanced features and they will not help you do the in-depth editing, right? So you can use it for grammar correction, sentence structure analysis, and also translation. So what are the strengths? It has very good checking capabilities and it can add value to your academic writing. Now, this is a comparison of all the three tools, digital tools, QuillBot, Grammarly, and Ginger. What are their basic differences? QuillBot is for paraphrasing, Grammarly is for overall grammar and style checking, and this Ginger is for comprehensive grammar checking, for translation also, and for checking the sentence structure. Coming next, critical evaluation and editing techniques, right? How evaluation helps in making your arguments stronger. When you utilize the proofreading software to check the accuracy and coherency, you are
Ma'am, sorry, I think you are muted.
No, ma'am, you are not muted.
Hello, ma'am, you are not audible.
Actually, sir, we couldn't hear her. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am, your voice is not coming.